cruise ship secrets that are never told to passengers. Imagine stepping onto a cruise ship thinking you're in for sun, fun, and fruity cocktails. But behind the buffet and bingo cards, there are secrets. Big ones. Ones cruise lines never advertise, like hidden morgues, surveillance scandals, and why leaving the ship last might be the smartest thing you do all week. Hey cruisers, welcome back to Cruise for You. Today I'm pulling back the curtain on 9 cruise ship secrets they don't want passengers to know. And trust me, the last one's a total game changer. Let's get started. Secret 1. The hidden life of cruise ship crew. You see smiling bartenders, cheerful room stewards, and friendly waitstaff. But what you don't see is what happens when they vanish behind the crew-only doors. Below deck, it's a completely different world. About 85% of the crew sleep below the waterline, often sharing small cabins with bunk beds and one bathroom between 2 to 4 people. They work 10 to 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, for up to 9 months straight. They navigate the ship using a hidden hallway called the I-95, a crew-only corridor that stretches the entire length of the ship and connects their workstations, cabins, and break areas. There are gyms, mess halls, even little barbershops. But you'll never find them unless you're part of the crew. And yes, relationships happen. Some say there's a lot of romance below deck because isolation and long contracts bring people close fast. Have you ever wondered what it's really like working on a cruise ship? Let me know in the comments if you'd ever want to give it a try. Secret 2. The hidden camera scandals. This one is as unsettling as it gets, and it's happened more than once. In 2017, a couple found a hidden camera disguised in the wiring behind their cruise cabin TV. Carnival admitted it was a video transmitter, but claimed it was inactive. Still, that couple wasn't so sure. Fast forward to 2024, Onboard Royal Caribbean's Symphony of the Seas, a crew member was caught planting cameras in passengers' bathrooms. Authorities believe up to 960 guests were secretly recorded over 2 months. While these cases are rare, it's a reminder to always check your room. Look behind mirrors, around electronics, and near vents, especially if something looks out of place. And if you ever do find something suspicious, report it to guest services immediately and document everything with photos. I bet this makes you want to double-check your cabin next time. Secret number 3. Buffet safety concerns they don't talk about. Buffets are one of the best parts of cruising. Or are they? While cruise lines do their best to maintain hygiene, buffets are a perfect storm for food safety issues. Hot food should be kept above 140 degrees Fahrenheit and cold food below 40 degrees Fahrenheit. But during long meal times, those big trays often drift into the danger zone, a temperature range where bacteria multiply fast. And it's not just about food temps. Those condiment bottles? Touched by hundreds of hands every day. That scoop in the communal butter? It's a germ playground. Raw items like sushi, oysters, or even cold cuts are especially risky. Even the tongs can be a problem if they fall into the dish and a passenger fishes them out by hand. Want a safer bet? Go for freshly grilled items or anything that's steaming hot. And if something looks like it's been sitting for a while, skip it. It's not worth spending your sea day in the ship's medical center. Secret number 4. Yes, pirates are still a thing. This one sounds like something out of a movie, but real pirate attacks on cruise ships have happened. The most famous was the 2009 attack on the MSC Melody near the coast of Somalia. 6 armed pirates pulled up in a speedboat and opened fire on the ship. Passengers were ordered to stay in their cabins while the crew turned off all lights and launched their defenses. But here's what most people don't know. Cruise ships traveling through high-risk areas are secretly equipped with non-lethal sonic weapons that can blast deafening sound waves up to 1,000 feet away, disorienting attackers. They also carry anti-pirate water cannons and sometimes even hire undercover armed security guards like the ones who saved the Melody. Fortunately, attacks like this are extremely rare, and modern ships avoid routes where pirates are known to operate. But if your cruise happens to cross one of those regions, just know the crew is trained and prepared. Secret 5. Yes, cruise ships have onboard morgues. Nobody wants to think about it, but with thousands of people on board, the occasional death at sea does happen. And cruise lines are very discreet about it. What they don't advertise is that most cruise ships, especially the larger ones, are equipped with a morgue that can hold up to 6 bodies. It's hidden in the crew-only areas, well away from passenger access. If someone passes away during a cruise, The body is quietly moved to the morgue and stored until the next port where proper procedures can take place. Sometimes that means it stays on board for several days, depending on the location. There's even a crew code word for it: Operation Rising Star. If you hear that being quietly passed around, it means a death has occurred. Some ex-crew members have joked that if there's suddenly free ice cream everywhere, it might mean they're clearing freezer space, but that's more of an urban legend than confirmed fact. Still, it's a sobering reminder that cruise ships really are floating cities, with every kind of facility you'd expect on land, including one for when the unexpected happens. Secret 6. The truth about man overboard systems. Here's one of the cruise industry's most controversial secrets. Most ships don't have automatic man overboard detection systems. Let that sink in. If someone falls or jumps overboard and no one sees it, the ship might not even know. According to CLIA, around 19 to 25 people go overboard from cruise ships every year, and without detection systems, the crew can only react after it's reported. Only about 30 ships, mostly from Disney and Carnival, currently have man overboard technology installed. These systems use radar and thermal imaging to detect when someone goes overboard and immediately alert the crew. So what happens if a ship doesn't have that system? The crew has to rely on security footage to find out what happened and where, and by the time they do, it might be too late to mount a successful rescue. In rough seas or at night, survival chances drop quickly. It's not because the tech doesn't exist, it's because installing it costs around $200,000 per ship, and some cruise lines just don't see the return on that investment. Cruising is still very safe, but this is one of those things that makes you think twice, and maybe stick to the safer side of the railing. Secret 7. The cruise line isn't running half the ship. Here's something that surprises a lot of passengers. Many parts of your cruise experience aren't run by the cruise line at all. That spa you just paid top dollar for? Likely run by a third-party company called One Spa World, not the cruise line. That limited time watch sale in the onboard shops? Probably organized by Starboard Cruise Services or Harding Plus, not Royal Caribbean or Carnival. Even medical centers, on lines like Virgin Voyages, Azamara, or Viking, are often outsourced to private medical companies. So if you have a medical issue, the cruise line may not be liable. Same goes for photographers, art auctions, and even port shopping experts. Many of these folks work on commission and are hired through outside contractors. Why does this matter? Because if something goes wrong, the cruise line may just say, "Sorry, that wasn't us." So before you sign up for a service or spend big on board, check the fine print, or at least know that not everyone working on the ship is representing the cruise line directly. Secret number 8. You can still get a discount after you book. This one's a money-saving goldmine, but only if you know about it. Cruise prices go up and down all the time, just like airline tickets. But here's the secret. If the price drops before your final payment date, you can often get that lower rate. Some cruise lines will automatically adjust it if you ask. Others will give you onboard credit or future cruise credit equal to the difference. Even better, it's not just for your cabin fare. If you pre-book drink packages, Wi-Fi, or shore excursions and see those prices drop, cancel and rebook them at the lower price. Simple as that. Seasoned cruisers use tools like Cruise Watch or Shipmate to set price alerts and monitor for deals, but most people never even think to check after booking. Want to cruise like an insider? Set a calendar reminder to check your cruise fare once a week before final payment. You could end up saving hundreds of dollars without doing anything risky or shady. If you've gotten even one helpful tip so far, I'd love it if you could hit that like button or leave a comment below with your favorite cruise secret or even a cruise fail you've experienced. And hey, don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy tips like these. Cruise for You is all about helping real cruisers have better, smoother, and smarter vacations. No fluff, just the stuff no one else is telling you. Now, are you ready for the final and most strategic cruise secret? Let's talk about why seasoned cruisers always leave the ship last. Secret 9. Why seasoned cruisers always leave the ship last. Here's a cruise tip that almost no one talks about, but seasoned cruisers swear by it. When the ship docks at your final port, most passengers are in a rush to get off. They crowd the elevators, stand in long lines, and wait impatiently for their group to be called. But here's the thing. There's no prize for being first off the ship. In fact, leaving last can actually be the smartest move of all. Here's why. First, Luggage is way easier to find. By the time you disembark, most of the bags have already been picked up. That means no digging through giant piles of suitcases. Your luggage is just sitting there, almost by itself, waiting for you. Second, you skip all the stress. Immigration lines? Shorter. Customs checks? Faster. Taxi queues? Way more manageable. And third, you get a peaceful exit. Instead of being herded off like cattle, you get a calm, quiet farewell to your cruise. It's just a nicer way to end your trip. And guess what? You're not stuck on board twiddling your thumbs either. The ship's buffet and lounges usually stay open until final disembarkation. Grab one last coffee, enjoy that ocean view, and soak in the last bit of vacation before heading back to real life. Also, let guest services know you'd like to be in the final disembarkation group. They can make it happen, and you'll be one of the few who gets to leave in total cruise zen. So what do you think? Would you rather rush off or cruise off like a pro? Drop a comment and let us know how you handle the final morning of your cruise.